Crazy mad. Poor Joe is like 0-3. In real life, I don't think that's the case. There he is, Don Chin, with his invasion partner, Peter Samedi.
And his opponent, accompanied by Peter Samedi.
The crowd's just loving these guys. Bringing the party to Atlantic City.
I don't think there's anyone hotter in AC than Don Chin. He is cashing in. He's going all in every match, and he's coming out on top. I'm excited for this match.
Mama, there goes that man and Pizza Medi. Bring the funk. Look at those moves by Don Chin. Sean Aaron's in for a world of hurt tonight.
Comics are totally awesome. And I'm totally awesome too. Whoa! Beard Zerker from Parody Press. Back it today!
My name is Professor Baldy, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed ex-cons and their friends from X-Files. And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Now, Parody Press Comics is back with X-Files Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7 full-color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork tiers. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comics' funniest talents. Parody Press, making the world laugh again. Only on Indiegogo.
Got the hard drive on modulator and the tube gate on even flow. Inside the time space continuator, there's a flex mount that's set to go. This thing is vertical, retractable, reversible, submerge your boat and jam it in. And the mechanism cross the divide and multiply and disk drive it, jam it in. Let's jam it in. Plug the main out into the AC. I've got the steam pre to heat it up. If there's a dropout inside the timepiece, in the jam scene, we'll lock it up. I've been building it, planning it, dreaming it, planning it, jamming it, and if
everyone. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my show. This is Comics and Coffee. My name is Don Chin. I'm a longtime veteran in the comic book business. I've been doing comics since, since the kind of like the late 70s, early 80s. As you saw on the trailer, we have a book called Berserker out that you can get on either cgnow.net or beardzerker.com, as low as $10. So if you want to check it out, it's a Keanu Reeves parody. We poke fun at him. It's 32 full color pages, has a lot of fun. So anyways, we have a fun show today. We have a couple of guests that I haven't met before, and that's always exciting because these are projects that were not on my radar. And then they reached out to me, the creators did, and said, hey, can we come on your show and talk about our project? So the two guests today are Nick Brewster, all the way down from Australia. It's 2 a.m. over there, which is awesome. Thank you, Nick, for the sacrifice. And then our other guest will be Jon Dexter. And strangely enough, when they booked the show, I didn't know that they were both going to be crime comics. And it turns out that they both are. One's kind of a murder mystery. I think they're both kind of murder mysteries, but Nick's is more of the, college murder dormitory girl type, I think. So we'll talk about that. It'll be fun. So we're going to let Nick Brew go first. He says Brew, and then his name is Nick. So I'll have to figure out what he prefers, but I think Brew might be kind of cool. And then Jon will come in. He's not in the green room yet, so I'm hoping he's not having some connection issues, but I'll monitor my emails and stuff to make sure. I know he has the link, so maybe he's just getting prepared. So let's go ahead and bring Brew in. And like I said, at the end of the show, normally we'll have a quiz for a prize, and that'll be a copy of Alpha Dogs #1, which is by Jon Dexter. So pay attention to the pitches, and you might have a chance of winning a digital copy. And like Jim O'Reilly says, if you like what you see today, please smash our like button and get the word out on social media about the show. We're having a good time here. So we do this every week. So go ahead and say hi to Brew. Hey, Brew.
G'day, Don. How are you?
Good morning to you. Very good morning. Early morning.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I see Jon is here now too. He's popping in. So let me bring him in.
Nice.
Hey, Jon.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Glad you can make it.
Thanks. It's been kind of crazy, but I'm here now. I'm ready to go.
I hear you. All right. So is it okay with you? We let Brew go first so he can
Absolutely.
go back to bed.
Go ahead.
And you guys were just on, weren't you guys just on Pops' show earlier this week?
We were.
Yeah.
Days ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Pops, how's it going?
Nice.
Hey,
Well,
Pops.
that's so funny that you guys are double booked on the same week. So you guys are going to know more about each other than I probably will. So I'm kind of a newbie to the worlds of comics that you guys are creating, but let's go ahead and give Brew the floor. And Brew, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What got you into comics, and what's your passion right now?
Yeah, so I didn't really grow up reading comics that much, but I was always into movies and film, and so I went into that as work, sort of working in the distribution of film for about a decade or so. But I always wanted to do writing, so I was reading a lot of scripts all the time, but I decided to write some of my own. And we were going to do this particular project, Do You See What I See, as a movie just before COVID stuff, but unfortunately the finance fell through about 2 weeks before we started pre-production, and so we'd already cast up, and we had all the crew up, and but after that I was I didn't want to. I'd already done a couple of years of work on the project, so I started looking at other ways to bring it to life, and that's sort of what brought me over to comics.
What's your what would you say your inspiration was for this type of genre? Were you a big kind of a slasher movie fan?
Kind of. I grew up in the 80s, and watched in the classic slasher era, and I even like all the really bad slashers, kind of a bit of a guilty pleasure. And so, that's sort of what drew me towards that. And then I like genre in general. Like it's a lot of how you can explore themes through action or horror. And so, yeah, that's sort of why I decided to do a slasher for a bit of fun.
Nice. Well, I previewed both of your campaigns, and they look very well done. I mean, the coloring, lettering, presentation, your covers, both of your guys' graphics. You know, you don't look like you're amateurs at all. So Brew, on how long has this project been in the works? I mean,
so the graphic novel. Yeah, the graphic novel part of it has been, I approached the artist nearly 2 years ago. So, and her name is Jisoo Kim. She's Korean, but lives in Australia as well. And she probably was drawing for, a year to a year and a half for the whole project to come together with the coloring and lettering. So, yeah, it's been quite a long project, but yeah, it's 170 odd pages. So yeah, it's just how long it takes.
Wow, that is a big undertaking.
Yeah.
So yeah. I know it's not cheap to make comics. So your goal was very reasonable, and you've exceeded that. But
so I just funded. Yeah, we financed like the whole thing before doing a campaign. So the campaign's really just to finance a print run. The initial print run for it. So
okay,
yeah. So the book's already 100% completed.
Is your dream that it will come back as a movie?
That'd be cool, but I'm not too worried about that. I think I'm happy now that I have something out there which has the story that I wanted to tell, and it's kind of my vision as well, which is pretty cool. And I really had I had so much fun making the book. Probably more fun than trying to produce a movie, to be honest.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So what's your day job, Brew? I see you had a website attached to your email, and I was curious, so I clicked on it, and I'm going, wow, this guy does all sorts of cool staging, like big venue stuff. So is that your?
No, I do like sort of a lot of script editing, and I do dabble in sort of a lot of film stuff, sort of just production and things like that. But yeah, I do a little bit of editing, and I kind of just because I went to film school, and I have a lot of friends in that sort of area as well. So yeah.
I thought your trailer was great, so why don't we go ahead and. Is it okay if I go ahead and play that? And people can kind of get an idea of what your project's about.
Yeah.
All right, guys, sit back and enjoy the trailer to "Do You See What I See" by Nick. And we have it. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. There you go. That's pretty impressive, Nick.
Thanks, Tom. Cheers.
So the the premise looks like it's set on a college campus, and you've got what gave you the idea for kind of having the masked villain?
So yeah, but the whole thing, the entire book's set on the one college. There's an Australian girl who heads over to college to study medicine, and I thought it would be interesting because the colleges, they're sort of like have such a woke environment at the moment that it'd be interesting to explore things like safety and victim culture in this slasher kind of genre. And the mask sort of came from, there's sort of like a subgroup of, I guess, protesters who are wearing this mask around the college. And so that was a good way for, bringing those slasher elements of a killer wearing a mask to hide the identity, but it's also sort of intertwined into the plot as well. And there's people wearing this mask everywhere. Yeah.
How did you come to create your creative team? Did you just kind of find them on the internet, or how are they?
Yeah, pretty much I did. With the main artist, I wanted to find someone local, because of time zones and etc. So in Australia, but I just did a lot of research for a couple of months, looking at different artists' portfolios, and then I reached out to G and sent her the script and sort of the themes, and it really resonated well with her. And so, yeah, she came on board. And she hadn't done any comic books before, but she had a bit of a background in storyboarding.
Yeah, this is nice.
Cool.
Nice work. Is she from Korea or?
Yeah, so she's originally from Korea, but she's been in Australia for about a decade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she set herself up in Melbourne now.
So you actually are face to face, like meeting with her?
I'm from Melbourne originally, but now I live up in Queensland. But
okay,
I didn't meet her for the first time until towards the end of the book being completed. But it's still a couple of hours flight down to Melbourne from where I am. So and then Nick,
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got my colorist. He's also in Queensland, but he's a couple of hours north of where I am. So it still had to be sort of done all online and through emailing, etc. But at least they were in Australia.
I see you have a character named Donnie in the story.
Yeah, good old Don. He's dressed as Rick Astley in that opening song.
That's hilarious. I parody Rick Astley in Beardzerker.
I saw that. Yeah.
So is Donnie a good guy or a bad guy?
Oh, well, we'll find out. Yeah, you got to read it to find out. So, yeah, I put the entire prologue on the campaign. So
okay,
yeah, it's about 17 pages of prologue, and this is where they're having a retro party at the start on Halloween. So
okay,
yeah, there's like Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer and all this stuff there. So I tried to have a bit of fun as well.
What did you what comics did you grow up reading, Nick?
Well, I didn't really read any growing up. I was sort of, when I was sort of started to research it, I was sort of gravitated towards the Vertigo sort of line of books. That's the sort of stuff that definitely interests me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it feels a bit more like story. Yeah, like this the way I like to structure stories and stuff. It just felt like those Vertigo books, they seem to have the most similarity with what I was trying to do, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. So tell us about your tiers. You can go big with the ultimate bundle, and then you can get the single issue for about $20 US plus shipping. What's the unlock free shipping?
Yeah, so I tried to keep things pretty simple. It's just books available. But so with that deal, because it's such a big book, I wanted people to have a reasonably cheaper option where they could just get it, the digital edition, and if they read that and then they really like the book and decide they want a physical copy, like they can then get free shipping on the physical, because I'll send them the digital edition plus a link to a free shipping perk.
Okay.
As well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you wanted the hard copy, like not try before you buy, but if you want to just get the paperback and the free digital, that's about $35.
Yeah.
US.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think shipping to the US is about $15 on the paperback. Yeah.
Wow. This is a big undertaking. Why did you decide to do like a big 176 page book versus like an issue by issue type of format?
Mainly just because the nature of the structure, I guess. Like I didn't want to break it up into smaller issues. I had a look at it. I probably could have done it as 5, but then I didn't want to lose the continuity of the storytelling.
That makes sense.
Yeah, especially with something like this, because it's sort of the first half of the book is so much about setting up the characters and developing the characters and the plot, and then about halfway mark, it just switches and it just goes into full action and death and everywhere.
Is this would you say this is for like what ages do you recommend?
Definitely mature ages, because there's a lot of gore and violence in it, but it's actually done in more of the violence is more about satire, because it ties into those themes of what is violence, I guess. So the violence is over the top in terms of blood and gore, but it's kind of, in a way, it's a bit cartoonish as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nick, you've got an impressive little graphic here of your company called Augmented Liberty. So what's next for you after this one?
So I've got this is like all good slashes. It's a trilogy that I have planned. So call it the Do You series. So I want to jump straight in as soon as possible to the second one of these.
Okay.
And then I've got a bunch of scripts, and some of them would work quite well, I think, as it more of an issue release. And so I'm looking at probably doing those concurrently so that we can have more regular releases, and they're completely different genres.
Let me ask you, the characters that are on your little kind of business card graphic there, are they characters from Do You See What I See, or is this from another series?
No, they'll be in another series, which we're just.
You can't say much about it yet, or
we've just started developing it, but you can probably tell I'm heavily influenced by 80s and 90s and things when we were growing up. So I kind of throw all that stuff in. But that would be more an ongoing series with those characters in the Augmented Liberty logo.
Looks great. Well, what else would you like to say about it? Do you have anything else you want to share? Or?
I've just wanted to. Not too sure about the shipping and new creator, but I think that's why you can jump on with a digital version, and it's fully completed, and you can read it straight away. Actually, like I'll send it to you as soon as the notification comes through, and you can so then you can decide whether you want to jump on and get the physical copy. We're doing a hardcover as well, which is be limited to this campaign, and that'll be signed and numbered individually. So that's the more wraparound one of the mask.
Okay, right
you
there.
See there, yeah. So and if you're into like, it satirizes what's currently happening in entertainment to a degree, with like the woke stuff as well. So, I've just tried to put something together which is like really fun and entertaining, a bit of a throwback to early days of entertainment.
Well, Nick, it looks really great. One thing I was going to ask you is, let's see. So the book is all done. So if you want to read it now, you could get it for $28, right?
Yes, I think should be about $20. But sometimes it fluctuates a little bit because of the exchange rate.
That's impressive that you've already got it all done in the can.
That's it. Yeah, and we're just going to go to print pretty soon. So just ordering some proofs at the moment. So the actual physical copies, they should be available hopefully before November for people.
Are you planning on signing any of these, or
just the hardcovers? But
just the hardcovers? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to definitely check this out, Nick. Looks like you're off to a good start. Definitely think we should put some pressure on Michael Bancroft to get you on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we've got to have the fellow Aussies chatting together.
I think you'd be a good guest for him. So I'll try to put in a good word for you.
Yeah, I think he'd like the book too. Yeah,
I think he would too, because it just seems he's totally not into the wokeness, and you've got that sentimentality as well. So Nick, I think if there's anything else you want to say, how people can get a hold of you on social media.
Yeah, so I'm just Sir_Brew on Twitter, or you could go to augmentedliberty.com website as well.
Okay, sounds good. Brew, are you going to go back to sleep?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it might be up.
What are you going to have for breakfast? I'm always curious what people from other countries have for breakfast.
I tend to head down to the local cafe and grab a coffee and just see what they got there.
Okay. Well, Brew, thank you for your time, and I know it's late over there, so have a good night.
Nah, thanks so much for having me.
Okay,
Cheers,
see you, Brew.
Don.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Bye.
All right. So, John, you're up to bat, my friend. Good. Let me switch out our little background, because I have your. I thought I had an Alpha Dogs background out here on this computer. Darn it! I thought I had one. I think it was on my other computer, my friend.
Oh, okay.
But I do have your campaign page. Do you want to share about DIMESTORE first, or would you rather talk about Alpha Dogs?
Well, DIMESTORE Detective, because it just launched last night. It's live on Facebook right now. We launched at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we're chugging along, getting things going here. But Alpha Dogs will probably come out in about a month from now, October 1st, last week of September. So, but yeah, I'm here to mostly promote DIMESTORE Detective right now, because that's what's out on Kickstarter. So,
gotcha.
But we launched last night, and it's chugging along. We got some backers, so I'm happy about it. So hopefully we can gain a little bit here. It's issue 1, so issue 1's always kind of toughest because people have never heard of it. It's a very original comic book, one that you're not going to find on the shelves. It's kind of a throwback to the old film noir of if you like True Detective, LA Confidential, Maltese Falcon, plus there's an element of the supernatural, kind of like Stephen King's It, or even the TV show Supernatural, then you're really going to enjoy DIMESTORE Detective.
Nice.
It's really original.
The covers that you sent me are very striking. I like the way that you've got the kind of ominous figure overlooking the city. And tell us about the villain, if you can.
Yeah, so there's a few villains in the story, but the main antagonist is this entity that doesn't have a name, or at least not as of yet, that kind of plagues this city with this family, the Mackinders. We start out with a crime scene that the main character, Detective Donald Mackinder, walks upon. This woman's been murdered, and she's the 3rd victim of this serial killer in the last month, and she's been left on display at the same at the Appalachian Mountains, in the same spot that the detective's father and uncle buried a bunch of bodies 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there's a connection between this evil entity from 40 years ago and what's going on today. So we flash back to the detective when he's 8 years old, and his father and his whole family are still makers. They run illegal moonshine still in the Appalachian Mountains in the South Georgia in 1981. And they're a very feared family. They go back 4 generations of moonshiners that have pretty much kind of had control of this county in the South. And then a new crew comes along that's connected to the Dixie Mafia, who were hitmen, drug runners, really bad dudes that the cops were either afraid of or they were paying off the cops. They move in on their territory and try to push the Mackinder brothers out. And in ends up kind of erupting into this moonshine war between the two people. And as the story goes along, we find out that there's an evil entity connected to it that's been unleashed in the Appalachian Mountains. So we flash forward to today, and this evil entity somehow is back and is murdering these women through this other vessel, the serial murderer. And so the detective has to figure out who it is in the connection with his father, and all the chaos that happened 40 years ago that kind of upended this town.
Wow.
So,
You put a lot of thought into this, John. It sounds like a movie ready to be shot.
Oh, it'd be nice. It's going to be about 7 or 8 issues. I have 5 issues written right now, and the rest is all plotted out. So, if you love murder mysteries, detective stories, and supernatural stories, you're going to really enjoy this. There's even some Jeffrey Epstein-esque cult thing happening too.
Wow.
As the story goes along. So it was an idea I had originally back some time ago, but it took place during the Iraqi war. And these soldiers get ambushed and end up in this cave, and this evil entity ends up getting unleashed. But I just didn't think there was enough there. It was intriguing enough, so it kind of just laid there for years. And then earlier this year, I listened to this podcast about the Dixie Mafia and about this guy whose father was a hitman for them. And the son no matter what they said about the dad and all the terrible things he had done, he still never wavered in his support and love for his father. And that's kind of how my character kind of grew, this main character, where his father's been villainized by this town as this horrible murderer, but the son believes in his father and fights the good fight and carries kind of the home fire for the family, even though the Mac in her name has been demonized throughout the years. So it's got a lot of themes in it. It's got a lot of heart, and it's going to be really, really exciting for anybody that reads it. It's going to, like I said, it's going to be about 7 to 8 issues when it's all said and done.
Okay. So John, tell us about the covers. I like kind of the way this one looks kind of like an old pulp type of.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going for. Yeah. I was a big fan of not so much the dime store novels of the 30s and 40s, but the art. The art is really cool, really intriguing. The aesthetics to it that really draw you in. And so that's what I wanted for this variant cover, to have these two detectives and this being in the woods stalking them. So as the story goes along, we'll find out more about the being. Issue 1's really the setup of what's going on, the culture of this city in Athens, Georgia. But yeah, that's definitely, and that, of course, if you see the title Dime Store Detective, that's a total, homage to the old dime store novels, the cool lettering there. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I like this. And then I saw your art team. You have 2 guys that are similar name. There's a Luca and a Lucas.
Yeah. Luca Cittiti. He's Italian. He's doing the artwork for all the interiors. He's awesome, obviously. And then the coloring, which half the comic book is colored, the other is in black and white. I wanted to differentiate with the readers between the past and the present. So everything that takes place in 1981 is in black and white, and everything in the present is in color. It's how you doing, Pops? Good. He's a great supporter.
Yeah, this cover, the main cover too, I really like too. It's just the colors, and it draws you in, and it kind of says, "Oh, I wonder what this is about." I hope so. It's kind of symbolic of this being now that's coming into this town, and there's a portrait, of a father and son in 1981 next to their 1973 Plymouth Barracuda. Barracuda.
So
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wanted to have the car is kind of a character in itself, because I always loved how the Dukes of Hazzard had their General Lee, Supernatural had their Cutlass, and Kit, of course, where the car is kind of its own character in itself. And in the beginning, it's the father's car, and it's passed down to the son in the present time. So the son in today's time is driving around in the 1973 burnt orange Barracuda. There's gonna be a lot of cool scenes with the car. So,
do you have a muscle car? John?
No, I don't. But my father, he actually had one himself, and he rebuilt them. And he was we were all Barracuda Hemi fans growing up as kids. My brothers have them as well, so it's kind of
Awesome.
part of our family. I'm the only one that doesn't have one, so so that's all right. They always break down all the time nowadays. So
That's true. Have you worked with Luca before?
no, this is the first one. He just had written to me and said, "Hey, need an artist?" I said, "Shoot." The rates were really good, and I saw his work, and I really liked it. I'm working with him on it, but also Stone Tower Studios, who produced, did all the lettering, art, and coloring for Alpha Dogs. So they're doing everything except for the interior art. They did the covers and stuff. So
maybe we can talk a little bit about Alpha after we get.
Yeah,
done with
definitely.
this.
It's going to be coming out. It's in the process. I just actually seen 2 pages that were colored. The first 2 pages look really, really sharp. So
John, what's your background? What can you tell us what you do for a living normally outside of comics, or?
Well, as you can see, the yellow shirt, I've worked in the construction field. I'm staying in a hotel right now because I'm on a job. They're building a casino in South Bend, and I do the building inspections on there. I test the concrete. Right now I'm inspector on the sewer job they have going on right now. So it's it's a job. I enjoy it. I mean, obviously, like any other creator, you want to make your full-time job making your stories come to life. So we'll see.
So South Bend, Indiana?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I actually had relatives in Kokomo. I once visited them.
Yeah, it's a little stretch from here, but yeah, it's a few hours.
It gets cold in Indiana. I went and took an Amtrak trip in the middle of winter, and it was very, very cold.
Well, I live in Michigan, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's Alaska here, so it's a little bit colder. We get all that lake effect if you're close to the coast.
What got you into comics, John?
Oh, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to write movies. And then when I was in high school, the X-Men cartoon came out, 1992, and I was just enthralled, and I became obsessed with comic books, mostly X-Men, Wolverine, and that was kind of the start of it. So,
gotcha.
I was using my paper route money to buy old back issues of X-Men, anything that had Wolverine in it. And that's really where it started, and it culminated for a long time. And then I was working as trying to break it in as a screenwriter, and I had a lot of stops and goes and throughout the years. And then I decided with Alpha Dogs, that would be a perfect comic book. So I wrote it as a comic, but I couldn't afford to hire the artist. This was about 6 years ago now. I just didn't have the money. So I decided I was going to make it a novel, wrote it out. And then I decided it just doesn't work as a novel. So I created it into the comic book and was able to get funded on Kickstarter for issue 1 back. It's almost exactly a year ago now that issue 1 came out. And issue 2 got funded here back in March, and now issue 3, I'm really excited to show everybody, will be coming out in either the last week of September or October 1st. I haven't decided. I like to have at least half the comic finished before I launch the Kickstarter. That way people aren't waiting. I've been waiting on comics from October of last year still. So, so I don't like, and it's just bad business to make people wait for months and months and months at a time. So I like to have at least half the comic done before I launch. And DIMESTORE Detective just happened to get done faster, so I decided to go with that. But it's so both are really, really people have really enjoyed what they've read so far. So
Alpha Dogs is ongoing, right? Or are you going to make it a finite series, or?
Well, if you consider 40 to 50 issues finite, that's what it's going to take. And the story's been plotted out because, like I said, I wrote it as a novel originally, and it's been one reason that Alpha Dogs has enjoyed a lot of people success, I guess you could call it, is because it's been culminated, and I've worked on it, brewed, and for many, many years before I turned it into a comic book. So it's not something that I just came up with, a month ago or 2 months ago or something like that. It's been many, many years of working on it and honing it to become the series that it's become. And like I said, I've only got 2 issues so far, but people that have read it have really enjoyed it. And issue 3 is going to be really exciting because it's kind of a culmination of issue 1 and 2. Or issue 1, we kind of introduced everybody. Issue 2 was the setup, and there's going to be a lot of action and thing crashing together and in issue 3.
Okay. This looks like, I'm a big dog person, so when I saw the dogs,
Oh yeah,
on the
yeah.
cover,
If you love dogs, you're gonna love Alpha Dogs. It's definitely a comic book for fans of dogs because it's got a lot of themes, owners, and kind of Buck, the main character, the dog, the pit bull, the oversized pit bull that you see there. He starts out and you seemingly dead on a beach. And actually, just to interrupt real quick, if you missed out on issue 1 and 2, I just did an add-on tier for DIMESTORE Detective to buy issue 1 and 2. Somebody had wrote to me about a couple hours ago and said, hey, I'd like to get issue 1 and 2. So you can purchase them as an add-on to DIMESTORE Detective, or when issue 3 comes out in a month from now, you can also get the catch-up tiers to get issue 1 and 2. So
gotcha. Your price point, at least from the first issue, seems like it was pretty reasonable, like $10.
Yeah. Issue 1 was $10 because it was 23 pages of content, where Alpha Dogs 2 is, and the prices went up dramatically from issue 1 and 2. So I had to raise the price to $12. But with DIMESTORE Detective, I'm offering 1 and 2 together for $20. So it's a pretty good deal for them. That's the inspiration for.
I see that.
For Buck. He doesn't look quite as heroic as the as the main character. He's just chilling. He thinks the couch and chairs are his own property. So thanks, Pops. Yeah, Pops has been a big supporter of Alpha Dogs. He bought issue 1 and 2. So I will definitely be going on his show again to promote issue 3. It's a really awesome cover for issue 3. And there's actually my first homage cover is on issue 3 as well, from my all-time favorite movie, Empire Strikes Back. So I'll be showing that off. Yeah, it's really fantastic. I showed the black and white version to my Kickstarter backers last week, so I'll be unveiling it once we get closer to the campaign. But the trailers are really cool. You can go back and even though there's not a trailer for DIMESTORE Detective, because it was a little more difficult because it's all hand drawn, that it was a little more difficult to do a trailer for that. But there's some really the trailers for Alpha Dogs too. You can actually play it if you want to, or it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
I want it. Let's go ahead and check it out, my friend.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is it loading? Let's see.
Hopefully, it should.
Hopefully. Let me see. Huh. It's just kind of sitting there not doing anything.
That is one boring trailer.
This is Alpha Dogs After Midnight.
Yes.
Let me try that again, my friend. Let me.
Your background is actually the other guy's comic, not my comic.
Yeah, that's I thought I'd pulled a graphic for your book. I'll try to switch it out before the end of the show. Let's see here. For some reason, it's not letting me share the trailer. I saw it. Alpha Dogs 1 has a trailer though as well, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Alpha Dogs 1 has a trailer too.
Do you prefer
probably Alpha Dogs 1, just because it kind of, people that aren't familiar with Alpha Dogs, it gives a pretty good introduction to the characters, where Alpha Dogs 2 trailer is more of a continuation of it.
Let me try to
both are really cool.
Let me try to pull up the Alpha Dogs 1 and see if we have any better luck. Okay, so this is, you guys see that I have it on the screen, and if
like I said, this was funded last year, but you can purchase Alpha Dogs 1 and 2 with the DIMESTORE Detective.
Okay, it's like when I hit the, oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome trailer. They did a great job with it.
Who did your trailer, John?
Sotaro Studios, out of Argentina.
Okay.
They kind of did a little bit of everything on it.
Yeah, I like the motion.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I was inspired by the Watchmen, the motion comic that came out a few years back.
Okay. Do you still have your dog?
Yes, he's 13
Okay.
now, and I actually got to take him to the vet on Friday because he's got a terrible eye ulcer in his eyes. Looks horrible. So this will be the third time to take him to the vet. So hopefully they can get something figured out. He's obviously, like dog owner yourself, he's definitely a member of the family. So.
Oh yeah, I hear mine barking upstairs right now. They say time to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an impressive trailer, man. I like it.
Yeah, if you like the trailer, you'll love the comic. It's got the same energy. Not a lot of exposition. I hate exposition. We get kind of jump right in with learning about Buck as he's lying dead, seemingly on the beach, and the bullets extract from him, and he heals. And that's his power. Is he has the ability to heal from most any wound. He's smart enough to understand human speak, and he's got a slightly heightened strength. So. And is as well the other dog, Cyrus. They've been on the run with their owner, Ina, for years and years from this group of mercenaries named BlackRock that's trying to get their hands on the dogs. And then one day their owner brings over her new boyfriend, and she's never told anybody about the dog's abilities. It's been their secret, but she swept off her feet. She spent years lonely, just her and her dogs, and she's able to get manipulated by this guy, but little does she know, he knows of the dog's abilities and has created this formula that once in possession of the dog's blood, he can create his own dogs with incredible powers. So he ends up in issue 2. You see his hulking dog that has the abilities as well, and other breeds have their own abilities.
Awesome, man. This is great.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
I like this Alpha Dogs a lot. So are you offering like all 3? 1 and 2, and also Dime Store as a package, or is it an add-on?
The Alpha Dogs is an add-on to the Dime Store comic. Like I said, I'm offering with that, but obviously when Alpha Dogs issue 3 comes out in late September, early October, I'm going to be offering all 3 of them as well. But if you want them now, you can get them with Dimestor Detective, and they're going to be a little bit cheaper on the Dimestor Detective one. Like I said, it's only going to be $20 for both the issues, just because I'm trying to build up Dimestor Detective as much as I can, being that it's the first issue. It's unfamiliar to people, and luckily not a huge following by any means, but I have a little bit of following the Alpha Dogs, so I'm able to offer a little more of a premium with Alpha Dogs on the website to kind of help pay, because Alpha Dogs is actually a little more expensive than Dimestor Detective. Yeah, obviously there's a trailer which isn't cheap for Alpha Dogs that I don't have with Dimestor Detective, so that helps. And as I said, half of Dimestor Detective is black and white as opposed to Alpha Dogs, which is in color. And there's going to be, if everything goes right, there's going to be 3 covers with Alpha Dogs as opposed to 2 with Dimestor Detective, and there has always been 2 with Alpha Dogs. But as I said, I've been to a few comic book conventions now this year, my first ones, and sold a decent amount of copies of Alpha Dogs. So I plan on hitting it hard next year with conventions. So,
John, did you say 3 is in the works and you're going to launch it when?
Well, Alpha Dogs 3 will have 3 covers. I'm hoping to launch it the last week of September or October 1st. It all kind of depends on where they are with the art. As I said, I don't want to launch it until half the comic's done, so that by the time I was able with issue 2, it was 3/4 of the way done issue 2. So by the time the campaign ended, I was able to mail Alpha Dogs issue 2 a month after the campaign ended. So that was really great. And where with issue 1, due to COVID and all that craziness, it was I kept getting delayed, so it took a little bit longer to fulfill issue 1, but still nothing terrible. And with DIMESTORE Detective, my goal is to be able to fulfill it a month after the campaign ends if all the stars align. But like I said, half the comic's already done. And it's a really fun comic if you like mysteries, and most people do. If you like noir, most people probably don't know. And it's, like I said, it's original, very original comic. You're not going to get anything like it. It's not, a lot of what's offered now is superhero stories or TNA comics.
Right.
This isn't like that. This is totally different. And so it's a little more difficult to get people on board. But once they do, they're going to really enjoy it. Like I said, if you like supernatural stories, if you like detective stories, noir, everybody kind of enjoys them. There's not a lot of them out there. So,
right. Yeah.
And you can buy, and the early bird special is still going on. It's for the first 48 hours. So you can literally buy the digital copy for what it costs a gallon of gas right now. So
wow,
it's, like
that's
I said,
a good deal.
$4 for the digital copy if you want that for the first 48 hours. And there's a discount on the comic and the variant for the early bird special. So check it out. I can't see how anybody won't enjoy it. So
John, you were gracious enough to donate a copy of Alpha Dogs #1 digital.
Yes,
for our watchers. So guys, we're going to do the quacky quiz in just a moment. I'm going to try to play the trailer again on Alpha Dogs 2, and I'll try to scroll the question for the quiz along the bottom. It should be pretty easy. If you've been watching the show and you're good with images, I think you'll be able to figure out the question pretty easily. So whoever answers the question correctly in the chat first will be the winner of Alpha Dog. So I'll get your email and then I'll give it to John and he can email you the copy. So let's go ahead and see if I can get Alpha Dogs 2 trailer to play. I hope and it will.
Should.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Here we go.
This one is an awesome trailer too. I'm really excited. And I've already written out issue 3's trailer, and it's gonna be pretty kick butt too.
Awesome. So the quiz question is now scrolling along the bottom. How much does something like this cost you, John? I know they're like my trailers have been anywhere like 500 to 1,000.
Yeah, it's a little over actually pretty cheap compared to yours. It's just over $200 range.
Oh, really? This is only 200?
Yeah, they're out of Argentina, so the dollar goes faster.
Wow.
Farther. Yeah.
I might have to hit you up for a contest.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if he's still doing it. His career's kind of taken off, the guy that did it. So I don't know if that was good for that. I kind of had to talk him into it because
How long did it take him to do your 1 and 2 trailers?
I don't know. I don't think it was over a month.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't really know. I give him the trailer, and I'm working on so many other things, with the comic, getting ready to launch, plus my job. So
gotcha.
I think I want to say he gave it to me in like a month after I asked for it and gave him the script.
Wow. That's
yeah.
You got a good deal, my friend.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I had to talk him into it because that's what he offered for issue 1. And, he's been really gracious. I don't know how much longer he'll do it for that cheap though, because his career is he's young and his career is kind of taken off. So,
all right. Well, let's do the little quacky quiz banner. I don't think I have a correct answer yet from you guys in the chat. Maybe you're too busy listening to us jabber away, but let me go ahead and play the quacky quiz famous intro for the duck. All right, so the question is, what kind of dog is the main dog in Alpha Dogs? I did veer away from the Alpha Dogs campaign because I wanted to give John, the main focus today is DIMESTORE Detective, which is currently funding. But come on, you guys. I saw someone mention a Fauci's beagle. No, that's a good answer, Lau, but it's not a beagle. Pops is probably being kind and not wanting to hog the copy. So
He already has a copy.
let's see. Anybody else have a guess? It's pretty easy, guys.
I don't know. I don't think I mentioned the dog in the interview, but I don't know. I guess
You did mention the breed and the name of the main character, but
okay.
yeah. Boston Terry Nosade. I'm sorry. You're close. Come on, guys. All you have to do is go to his Kickstarter and type in Alpha Dogs, and you'll see all the. Oh, I think we have a winner.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Tank Ferret. You are correct. It is a pit bull.
Yep.
So, Tank, I'll reach out to you on. I'll get your email. So, congratulations, Tank. You win.
Yeah. Good guess.
John, I know you probably have to get onto your work day. So, how can people tell us how they can reach you and any other last minute plugs you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, well, easiest way, obviously, right now is just type in DIMESTORE Detective. DIMESTORE is 2 words. On Kickstarter, you find the campaign to pledge and see some of my other stuff that I've done on there with the Alpha Dogs. But I'm also on Twitter at Real Alpha Dogs, and I'm on Instagram at Alpha_Dogs_comic.
Good. Thanks, John.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Hopefully people will just at least check it out. You can see the first 7 pages on Kickstarter right now for DIMESTORE Detective, and peruse them and see if it's to your liking.
All right. Well, I'll flash the link down there again, guys. It is in the comment section of the chat, and as well as on the description for this show. So if you get a chance to go check out both Nick's campaign and John's campaign, Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Guys, we will be back again next week. I don't know who my guest will be, but I'll definitely put it out there once I know who we have booked. But John, thanks for your time. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Take care, John.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us this time. We're actually done before the top of the hour. So thank you for joining me, guys. I hope we'll see you again next week. The only announcement I have is that the CGWF is doing a big Midsummer Night Slam on September 30th on the Breaking Rad channel. I think it starts around 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 6 p.m. Pacific time, which might be like 9 o'clock where you're at. But just go to Breaking Rad on YouTube and you can see what's going on there. There's actually going to be a zombie free-for-all, and I'm now an undead zombie in the CGWF. So if you want to see me in my undead self fight against people like John Malin and Mandy Summers, check it out. It's Breaking Rad on YouTube. Good guys on there. Hope you have a great day. I'm sorry, Dave, you are a little late, but you can watch the replay. All you guys can. But I had a good time. Guys, go out there, read some comics, back those comics, get the word out if you can. We really appreciate all of your support. God bless. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Take care.